Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we are making a easy treat for when you get those winter munchies. It is called sweet potato chips. Here is what we need. As well as these ingredients, we are also going to need a large oven tray and our oven on 200. So they're really straightforward. So come on in. I'm going to talk you through the ingredients. So first of all, you need one large sweet potato, which you need to peel, and then when you slice it very thinly on the diagonal so that they look like that. I've had these soaking in water for a while because I'm still studying, and I tried to buy a very large sweet potato where I work, and they didn't have any, so I ended up buying two, but I've got plenty, and I've got the munchies because I'm still studying, so this is going to be my late night study snack. Yum. Also, you need olive oil spray. I don't have olive oil spray. I just use canola oil spray. Olive oil spray will probably give it a bit more of a golden colour. And sweet chili sauce. I always have this on hand because I'm a big fan of sweet chili sauce. And you need some light sour cream. So as well as your tray, that's really all we need. So I'm just going to drain these off because, as I said, I've had them soaking in water, and I can't remember whether sweet potato goes a funny colour once you cut it, unlike potato, which you do need to keep in water. So I just put it in it anyway. So I'm just going to quickly drain it off. And then what we really need to do is to layer them in the tray. So we want to dry them off a little bit. I'll give this a quick spray before we start, and then we're going to spray them over the top again. So if you don't want these as a winter snack for the winter munchies, they're probably also good for the summer for when you want to be fancy and say, I made these myself. So just layer them on the tray. We are going to overlap them, and some of them came out a bit like that, but if you think of when you eat potato chips, half of them are all not perfect anyway. So the thin ones are good. They'll come up crunchier. The bigger ones may not be as crunchy. But we're basically going to cook these until they are, until they're crisp. That's the word. I've been using so many words lately, I've forgotten my words. And they're all words to do with real estate too, so big words. So I'm just going to layer it basically as if I'm making a potato bake, I guess. Because the idea is we're going to give them maybe about 10 minutes, and then we're just going to sort of take the tray out, give it a shake, and then we're going to put them back in again. We want them to dry out. And then you've just got to set them aside and let them cool before you eat them. Plus, I'll show you how we're going to do our sweet chili sauce and sour cream. We're basically going to make a dip, I would say. What do you reckon, hey? All right. And if you don't want to use sweet potato, I don't see why you can't do this exact same recipe with a potato. Make your own potato chips. Could use other veggies as well. Anything that you can slice thinly. How about carrot, beetroot? Beetroot's a big one. Potato obviously would be the main one. All right, so we're going to spray them. All right, so into the oven, I'd say about 10 minutes, and we'll check back in. Now, while that's going on, how about we start and make our dip? So the best way to do this is to literally layer the ingredients. I think we're going to use all of this sour cream. For me, that's a good idea because I'll leave it and I'll say I'll have it with wedges and I won't, and then it'll go off. So it's the same as if I buy a dip. I don't really like to leave it in the fridge. So we'll do that. And then we'll do a drizzle of sweet chili over the top. Sweet chili. Repeat. Over the top again. And then another drizzle on the top. I'm going to put the dip in the fridge. Not that it's hot weather, unfortunately, but just to keep it in there. So your dip should look like that. All right, I'm going to check back in with you soon. 10 minutes is up. You can't really have many high hopes for things being done in 10 minutes. Ow, I just touched the thing. Yes, it was hot. So just flip them. And then respace them out. Pop them back in for another... We'll keep doing 10-minute bursts, I think. It's easier that way. See you soon. So I don't know how many 10-minute bursts I gave it, but I kept giving it a lot of 10-minute bursts and stirring it. Some of them have actually started to go black. So I'm calling it a day on this one. What we need to do now is just let them cool, and then they're ready to eat. So they don't look very appetizing at the moment, but the whole idea is they are going to be similar to a potato chip, but a sweet potato chip. So thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been Sweet Potato Chips. Enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next one.